rubber sandwiched in between. The cuffs on the suit are airtight as well as watertight. They will sometimes get off the circulation of the driver's hands. We have to keep an eye out for that. The divers, when they're getting in and out of the suit, have to use a little soap and water around their hands and wrists to be able to get through those cuffs. That's over there, and he'll pop back up to the surface like a big balloon, even with all that weight on. So in order for him to maintain working on the bottom out there, he's got to continuously keep bumping that valve with his head. If he forgets to do that, well, he'll just start sinking, floating back up, so he won't be for very long. Now, we don't use this type of diving suit anymore today. What the divers wear today is a lot safer and easier to work in. They'll wear a wetsuit, a pair of heavy work boots or dive boots, about 30 to 40 pounds of weights on a weight belt to the harness. The air hose is much smaller diameter air hose attached to either a scuba regulator or a full face mask. Since the divers don't have the buoyancy of this type of diving suit to get them back up to the surface, what they'll do is they'll have their weights attached to a rope with a buoy. They will ditch those weights and swim back up and climb back up to the surface. A lot safer because of this system here. If the motor goes out, the pressure dies, we're not getting hit back to the motor. So where he's going to jump off here, it's going to be about 12, 15 feet deep where he jumps. When he gets the helmet on, his suit's going to start filling up with air. We're going to hold him for a few seconds so he can take some pictures, and then we're going to have him jump over the side. When he jumps over, he's just going to drift alongside the boat before going down. So you guys on the right side stay seated. You guys on the left, you can't come cross on over. Don't worry, the boat won't tip over.
This is safe. You don't want to get outside of it.
Good. Get aboard. Okay, watch him, guys. He's going to get ready to jump. There he goes. He's going to drift alongside the boat there before going down. When he's ready to go down, he'll start pumping that valve with his head and he'll sink to the bottom. Okay, so he is walking on the bottom now, okay? The divers, when they're walking on the bottom out there in the Gulf, will typically walk at about a 45-degree angle to the bottom, on their toes and against the current, thrusting forward as they go along. Okay, so there he is. Now notice that as he starts to walk along searching for a sponge, he's kind of twisting his body left to right, side to side. The reason they do that is so they can scan the area around them. Just turning their head inside the helmet doesn't really give them enough view of the area they're working, even though he's got these little windows on the side. So he kind of twists and turns as he searches for a sponge. Try it again. You showed them what you got for the other guy. Looks like. Don't be afraid to touch it. It'll feel slippery and slimy. Nothing but water will come off on your hand.
Ew, it's kind of gross.
I'll tell you how we clean those wings. That black skin on the surface area is the living part of the sponge. I'll tell you how we clean those wings. The boat, we're going to lay them on the deck, okay? We're going to stack them 2 high, 3 high, 4 high, whatever we need. And we will cover them with a heavy burlap material or large blankets. We'll wet them down periodically throughout the day to keep them from drying out. Because if you let that skin dry on your sponge, it'll dry hard like this one here and you'll never get it off. So we keep them moist enough to prevent that from happening. Also, a couple of times in the day, we will rotate and flip the sponges around. Okay? After about 2 or 3 days of this, that animal matter, as it starts to die, it will start to rot and decay. It'll start coming loose from the skeleton. When we see that happening, we'll take those sponges, we'll dip them in a bucket of water, we'll slam them on the deck, or we'll beat them with a club. They'll stomp on them. Today's times, the guys also use a high-pressure water hose to blast a lot of that through there. Once they get all that animal matter out of the sponge, they'll rinse them out a couple more times to make sure they're clean all the way through. They'll squeeze them dry. And in the old days of the large boats like this, they would string them on 30-foot lines and hang them across the rigging to dry. Today's times, the smaller boats don't really have that kind of space. So what they do is they put them in large net bags and hang them off the side of the boat. Once the sponges are thoroughly dried, they'll put them in their storage areas below deck or up on the roof or just leave them hanging wherever. When they feel they've got enough sponges to make their trip worthwhile, they will come in and sell their sponges. Now, the way we sell our sponges from the boat, it's basically a silent bid process. What they'll do is when they get back to the dock, they're going to sort their sponges on the dock out there. They're going to separate the different types, okay? They will also separate them by different size ranges and different qualities within those size ranges. So you'll have several piles of sponge out there. The buyers will come around, inspect the sponges for quality. They'll write their bid on a piece of paper what they're willing to pay for them, turn it into the owner. Once the owner's collected all the bids from the different buyers, then he'll select who he sells them to. The buyers cannot go through the piles and pick out all the nice pieces. They have to buy the whole lot. This way the boats are assured of selling all of their catch and not getting stuck with anything that they can't get rid of. Once the buyers get them, they'll take them to their facilities where they'll run up to some, tell them to turn that mic off, cleaning solutions. They may cut them and trim them to the sizes that they need for their customers, and they'll put them out for sale. Our sponges are sold all over the world. We sell a lot of them to home improvement centers, bath boutique shops, paint stores, and of course here in Tarpon. Anybody else want to put the helmet on real quick? Come on, guys, put it on.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay.
Sure you know what to do with it? Yeah, I want to try it. That's pretty heavy. Yeah, I bet it is. You should go try it. No, thanks. I'm very claustrophobic. How are you?
The boat has to have a commercial sponging license. Pretty inexpensive, costs them a few $100s a year. There is no season. We can harvest, we can sponge year round, okay? It's weather and mechanical problems that keep us in. There is no limit on how many sponges we harvest. We can take all we want. The only thing is, they have to be at least 5 inches in diameter before we cut one. And nobody has any private areas or leased areas out there. It's all first come, first served. So that's it. Pretty simple. It is really a good movie to give you an idea of what it was like back in the day. Some of the scenes in the movie do give you walk over. Some of the scenes in the movie do depict some real life situations. One of those being when the diver's diving on that deep reef. He slips off the reef, loses control of his air valve. He can't reach it to release the air in the suit. The suit fills up with air. It comes up from the bottom too fast. Gets what we call the beds and knots. We lost a lot of divers in that type of accident back in the day. That's one of the things that made this type of diving system so dangerous. But you can find it on Netflix, YouTube, and stuff. You watch it.
Say the name one more time.
Beneath the 12-mile reef. Now the postcard that says passed up, you can take a look at it if you like. There's 5 cards in the pack. There's a view of the diver, a view of the boat you're on now, the different grades of sponge that we go after. And our Greek Orthodox Cathedral here in Tarpon, which if you folks would like to visit, are more than welcome to. The postcards, if you'd like to keep them, we do offer for $1 for all 5 cards, $1 for the whole pack, which is a very good value in our divers. We're more than happy to run autograph the divers pictures.
Yeah, we need a picture of you.
So here are some of the sponges at some of the stores, and there's a couple that was on the boat that we started kind of cutting up with out on the street here. that again. Say that again. I loved it.
You remind me of my Lovey.
Lovey.
I call them all that.
Go over there and grab it. Say, check this out, Lovey.
That's only in front of
Check this out.
Check this out, Lovey. $7. I have never heard that before.
Never use that.
Never.
Now, what I loved is that it's antibacterial.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They say not to.
So, yeah, those
If
are,
you're going to use one, that's what you want to use.
Yeah, they say you don't have to do anything to them.
Right.
Except clean them and dry them. Well, no.
These are what you could do over there.
Yes, putting your head in a shark's mouth is kind of weird. We stopped at the local bakery and got some goodies and had a great dinner. Absolutely love the Greek food here.